RoboCop Rogue City. Who is it? What is it? Where did it come from? Well, it's a first-person shooter from 2023 that tells an original story that fits right between RoboCop 2 and RoboCop 3. It was also successful enough that it received a standalone expansion called RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business, which came out in 2025. This picks up right where Rogue City left off. Now, I have been a fan of RoboCop since I was a child. Back then, kids seeing R-rated movies were no big deal, especially when they aired on HBO. Now those were the days, taping movies off the television with these bad boys right here, and of course waiting for your mom and dad to go to sleep so you could sneak into the living room and watch movies that you weren't supposed to. You know the kind I'm talking about, the ones with violence and language and plenty of skin. Those are the movies that turned a boy into a man. Anyway, what really made RoboCop stand out was its ability to mix so many different genres, from science fiction, body horror, dark comedy, social commentary, and of course, good old action-adventure. It was a pure melting pot of ideas. And at the center of it was Alex Murphy, a good police officer gunned down and then resurrected into the ultimate crime-fighting machine. He was played to perfection by actor Peter Weller, who returns to reprise his role in this game. Now, even though this game has been out for a few years, I will do the best I can to avoid major spoilers while reviewing this game.
We need to find another way. It is too dangerous to cross.
For me, but you can take the heat. Go, I'll figure something out. Besides, you could do with a head start. Go on.
Now, RoboCop Rogue City takes place in between RoboCop 2 and RoboCop 3. OCP, Omni Consumer Products, are continuing their efforts to turn Old Detroit into Delta City. OCP's greatest creation, RoboCop, however, starts experiencing malfunctions, which includes flashbacks to his past when he was Alex Murphy. One of them were caught on tape during a hostage rescue at a TV station. While Robo is forced to go through psychological evaluations, a new threat has emerged in Old Detroit, known as the New Guy. While in hot pursuit of this new threat, RoboCop uncovers OCP's secret plans, including replacing all police officers with robots. In addition, the old man who runs OCP is on his last legs, and is looking for a way to cheat the inevitable, and Murphy may hold the key. Now, the game's story comes off as a better sequel to the original movie than the ones that we received in the early 90s. Although I do admit to having nostalgic love for those films. But yeah, the first one is still the best. Here, however, Rogue City does a great job expanding the narrative of RoboCop. There are plenty of familiar faces from the movies, as well as some new ones that you'll meet along the way. Some are friends, and others are foes. Rogue City includes a dialogue tree. This allows you to choose how to respond to different characters you meet, and how to handle certain situations. Remember, RoboCop has 3 prime directives: serve the public trust, protect the innocent, uphold the law. And which directive you use will affect your progress and whether you make friends or enemies, and how they affect the world around you. Remember, you are the shining light in this dystopian world, and the people have many different opinions of you. Some see you as a corporate tool of OCP, while others see you as the only true spark of justice in this rancid world. While on the beat, you'll have main objectives that will allow you to follow the story, and side objectives which are optional. The motivation for doing as many objectives as possible is experience points that you can use to level up your character. Now, RoboCop can be leveled up by using the skill tree, where you can increase your combat, armor, as well as engineering and vitality, and so on. Another way to get experience is also by finding objects that include stolen purses, fake IDs, and Nuke, which was the drugs that were introduced in RoboCop 2. At the precinct, you can also help fellow cops in their day-to-day routines, which is another way to get more experience as well. Okay, now let's get to the meat and potatoes of this game, the combat itself. In my opinion, it was a very smart move to make this a first-person shooter. Now, my cousin William stated in his Resident Evil Requiem review that he prefers the third-person aspect, but here they put you behind the eyes of Murphy, and it's really effective, especially when he starts to glitch out. Honestly, these sequences can become quite unnerving.
Special offers at Juneberry Mall. Now a free gift for engaged couples. Goldfinch Jewelry has a discount on wedding rings. Choose something special. It's a symbol of your love and something for her to remember you by after you decided to get yourself killed and leave your family all alone, Alex Murphy. Don't hesitate. Come and take advantage of our offer.
As you head into battle, you are armed with your trusty Auto 9, which at first is effective but pretty standard. Fortunately, you can gather other weapons that enemies drop, and you can switch back and forth by pressing the triangle button. Now the Auto 9 can be upgraded by obtaining these discs along with these chips that you find in these boxes, and you have the option of merging to create more powerful ones. As the game went along, I was able to level up my Auto 9 to the point that it became my most powerful weapon. Man, the sound effects just hit hard in this game. The gun blasts and the blood squirts are so visceral.
RoboCop is here! Take my freaking hand off! He ain't doing it!
Along with your gun, you can also grab objects and enemies to give them a good toss. But RoboCop also has some tactical elements to help you in this adventure as well. You can activate a force field that gives you some extra protection. It's kind of like the Enterprise's shields from Star Trek. Remember, RoboCop is sturdy, but he's not invincible. Speaking of which, remember to keep your eye out for health packs and power boxes where you can recharge. Another tactic includes a quick rush to get you around more quickly, a timer that slows things down, and a light electronic blast to help stun your enemies. Your foes will come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are more heavily armed than others, while some enemies have special abilities that can make them more of a challenge to deal with. One maneuver that I really liked, and this was taken from RoboCop 2, was the ricochet, where you can shoot a bullet at a certain object and it will bounce back to take down an enemy from behind. Also, keep an eye out for any explodable objects that will help weed out herds of enemies. Not to mention these breakable walls where you can breach through to other areas to get the drop on your foes. The secondary weapons that you pick up can be very helpful in certain situations. A good example includes the Cobra assault cannons from the first movie, and the heavy machine guns, not to mention the rocket launchers as well. The action in this game is its strong suit, as the gunplay is fun and addictive. The gameplay also offers just enough variety to the point where it never becomes boring. Repetitive, sure, but still fun, and kept me looking forward to the next battle. Now when performing cop duties, you'll come across crime scenes where you have to use your detective mode to find clues and solve puzzles. Now, these are not intense or that involved. It pretty much boils down to push a button and move on. I mean, they can't keep you away from the action parts for too long. There will also come moments where you're going to have to save citizens from dangerous situations. Now, the graphics for the most part are done fairly well. The strengths include the scenery and the environments, but one glaring weakness are the character models. Many of them look rather lifeless when reciting dialogue. And for the extras, you can tell that they only had a handful of character models, so they often get repeated. While you do see the game's limitations, it doesn't become too distracting. However, I do have to mention that there were some embarrassing graphical hiccups I encountered, such as the screen going to black when a cutscene was supposed to play, and then there was this one time when well, we'll talk about that later. RoboCop himself does look great, including other machines such as the Ed 209s. The script has plenty of dark humor moments. For example, when you turn on radios, you can hear the morbid news reports.
In other news, Mayor Kuzak suffers another humiliation during his mayoral campaign. The hats that he gave away to the homeless citizens of Detroit seem to have another application. They turn into balaclavas that are now commonly used to protect the identity of mayor's properties. As a result, we've seen an unprecedented spike in crime.
Not to mention inside gags that fans of the series will appreciate. The music fits the atmosphere very well. They do not play through the entire game, but only at certain moments. My favorite moments are when the RoboCop theme kicks in. that's awesome. It's always a joy to hear Peter Weller's voice. He'll always be RoboCop to me.
Lewis, can you read me?
Loud and clear. Are you out of the sewers already?
No, I found a signal booster.
A signal booster underground?
The entire OCP communication network runs down here. It looks like the mercenaries were tampering with it.
I wonder what they were up to.
Whatever they were planning, I am going to stop them.
Other voice actors do their roles well enough, but I will say the bad guys' voices can get a bit ear-grating. I guess that was the point. Now, as I mentioned before, we got an expansion update in 2025 called RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business. This is a standalone adventure that takes place right after the events of Rogue City. As RoboCop entered his home precinct, he finds that many cops are dead, some frozen like they were attacked by Mr. Freeze. After meeting with the chief, RoboCop finds out that the mercenaries that were in the first game were responsible. He tracks them down to Omni Tower, a huge complex that is in their control. Not only does RoboCop have to take down the mercenaries, but he also has to keep the citizens living there safe. Eventually, RoboCop finds the one responsible for this, and it's a face from his past. The gameplay for Unfinished Business is pretty much a copy and paste from Rogue City, but there is a couple of extra maneuvers added. One is that if you hold down the walk button, RoboCop can move slightly faster, which does help quite a bit. RoboCop is not very fleet of foot, so in the first game he does move around at a pretty slow pace. But here at least you can get more of a move on. Another nice feature is that when you grab an enemy that's near an interactive object, you can perform a takedown. Pretty much a brutal finisher that you can perform. The ice gun is a nice addition as well, although personally, I tend to stick to my Auto 9. Playing with the chips and finding different combinations is where I spent a great deal of my time. Finding those OCP crates really turned into a must for me, and eventually I was able to customize my hand cannon into the ultimate problem solver. Now, in Unfinished Business, there's a section in this game where you play as Alex Murphy himself, during a flashback, which gives a little more insight on his past life. This section was pretty damn cool for me. It's always great to get more background on Alex. Now, there are also other parts in the game where you get to play as other characters, but I wasn't too thrilled about these. I was like, okay, it's part of the story and all, but I just wanted to get through these and just get back to playing RoboCop. That is until you start playing as an Ed 209, yeah! Oh, by the way, that one graphical hiccup I mentioned? Well, no one's perfect. We're only human after all. It's nice to see that we have come to the point where licensed titles can now be given the care and attention that they deserve. Gone are the days where they had to rush out a half-finished product just to line up with a movie that was coming out. Rogue City really gave me the experience I was asking for, to be behind the eyes of RoboCop. The story is very well done, filled with dark humor along with heartfelt moments that makes it fit perfectly in this world. The game is also filled with nice Easter eggs and callbacks to the lore of the series itself. Now, it's very much a game by RoboCop fans for RoboCop fans. Now, will this appeal to everyone out there? Oh, of course not, and it doesn't need to be. I appreciate a game or a movie that knows what's trying to do and execute it perfectly. I've been a fan of RoboCop for a long time. From the movies, the games, even that syndicated television show that came out in the 90s. And this game, for me, for the most part, really hit the mark. Now, as for Unfinished Business, it's nice that it extended the fun of Rogue City, but it's not, in my opinion, essential that you have to get this. For me personally, the main Rogue City game basically whet my RoboCop appetite. Unfinished Business, while is fine and it does add a couple new elements, in my opinion, it's not essential, it's just optional. But hey, that's just my opinion. And there you have it, my review of RoboCop Rogue City and Unfinished Business. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more TBOG goodness. Until next time, keep on gaming.
Scrapyard or prison, creep.
Murphy, what the hell was that?
Just an old friend.
What do you think, guys? You don't care.